Tzu Chi volunteers hold scholarship distribution ceremony on Bohol Island to help students. TIMA members provide medical care to ailing seniors as they make regular house calls in New Taipei City's Gongliao district. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Since Bohol Island of the Philippines was struck by an earthquake in 2013, Tzu Chi started providing short-term, mid-term, and long-term relief assistance for local residents. Besides comforting the quake survivors, Tzu Chi also rebuilt classrooms for local schools and started to distribute scholarships to underprivileged students beginning in 2014. Let's take a look at a recent scholarship distribution.
My parents worked very hard to raise us. I keep this in my mind. All of you here, if your parents also worked very hard, please express your thanks to them.
Children growing up in adversity are always grateful and persistent.
But the quit is not the best solution. Instead, it is the great stimulant. Way back then, in my elementary years, for me to be able to go to school, I need to walk 1.5 kilometers every day. That triggers my hiccup.
This is the fourth year that Tzu Chi Philippines chapter has held a scholarship distribution at Bohol Island for underprivileged students, making them feel blessed and warm.
The Tzu Chi Foundation, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude as they open doors of new hope to those youth who are willing to attain their success.
Scholarship in Bohol started in 2014 after the earthquake. That was in October 2013. Tzu Chi went around different schools helping them with temporary classrooms.
Also in the Philippines, a 2-year-old boy from Bohol Island suffers from a congenital heart disease called ventricular septal defect. As his family has financial difficulties, they cannot afford his medical expenses. Fortunately, with the assistance of Tzu Chi, this boy was able to go through his first surgery in Quezon City.
This boy, who is leaning on his mother's shoulder, is 2-year-old John. He looks uncomfortable because he suffers from ventricular septal defect, leading him to have breathing problems.
Very rare. So it's usually like less than 2% of all the congenital heart disease. And on top of that, it usually affects the male children.
John and his family live at Bohol Island. As their living condition is very poor, they cannot afford to pay the medical expenses for John's congenital heart disease. Fortunately, Tzu Chi volunteers step in to lend assistance just in time.
His mother was planning to take him to seek medical assistance after she graduates. However, her son cannot wait for her to graduate because his heart condition is worsening. He needs to undergo 3 surgeries in order to be fully recovered.
Mothers always worry about their children. Seeing that my son feels uncomfortable, I sympathize with him. Thanks to Tzu Chi's assistance, they helped us contact the doctor of the Philippine Heart Center. They are willing to perform surgery for my son.
Volunteers accompany John from Bohol Island to Quezon City. After going through the first surgery, John's health condition has vastly improved.
Levy came, he was saturating, his oxygen was only like 40s to 50s and goes down to 40s when he cries. But now he has a more stable saturation of 80 to 85. So magbublo pa rin siya, pero at least livable na yung kanyang oxygen saturation.
After a few months later, John will continue to undergo 2 other follow-up surgeries. The volunteers have also promised to accompany him all the way until he is fully recovered.
In Singapore, there's a family with 5 members who are mentally challenged. In the past, the elderly husband had taken care of the family, but he passed away earlier this year, leaving the burden to his ill wife. Upon learning of the family's situation, Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to help the wife clean up their living environment. Miscellaneous items pile up in the hallway. This is Tzu Chi's house. In her family of 6, 5 members are mentally challenged. In the past, her 77-year-old husband took care of the family, but he passed away earlier this year. Therefore, Go now faces the challenge of caring for her family.
She does not know what to do, and I've been looking for help. Then the wife of my cousin sent a mail to Tzu Chi, and suddenly a group of people came to help me. I'm very happy and grateful. The Bodhisattva has not given up on me. More than 20 Tzu Chi volunteers have come to help clean up the place and calm Go's anxious mind. Gratitude, respect, and love. We need to have respect. Even if you've done a wonderful job, if she is not happy, then the job is not successful. With 10 hours of cleaning, the house has a new look. Go's younger sister hugs the volunteer to express her gratitude. Today, I've seen how your team can help my sister with the cleanup. I'm very grateful to Tzu Chi. I'm deeply touched. Thank you.
Next, we want to offer some guidance in terms of teaching her to sort recyclables and protect the environment.
Recently, a DaAi tea gathering was held at the Singapore Jingsi Hall. Besides the Tzu Chi volunteers in attendance, there were business entrepreneurs as well. The gathering was to hear about the operating mission of the television station. During the event, DaAi TV's Deputy Director James Ho and various executives also shared with the audience how this non-profit television station has stayed running for nearly 20 years.
DaAi TV News anchor Ni Mingjun sings a well-known children's song to begin the tea gathering here in Singapore. DaAi TV Deputy Director James Ho and a group of delegations are at the Jingsi Hall to share DaAi TV's operating mission with over 200 business entrepreneurs.
DaAi TV does not have commercial sponsors. It is instead reliant on donations from kind-hearted people, who we refer to as friends of DaAi TV.
Seeing that the nonprofit television has been in running for nearly 20 years, Roy Chen was moved to help spread the word about Tzu Chi to more people.
I was surprised to hear the money the recycling volunteers make from resources go towards DaAi TV. We should do more to give and help spread Tzu Chi's great love to more people. We have produced a lot of programs with meaningful content, all in the hopes of purifying hearts.
After listening to all the introductions and stories, Chen Aihua and her husband fully supports this channel.
These are stations that can transform people's lives. And the TV station is always there for them when they're feeling down. That's very important, I feel.
I think if it's possible and it's helpful to a lot of people, then I need to support this cause. Of course, those with more ability. If we are willing to give a bit more, then together we can spread Master Zheng Yan's teachings to more corners of the world.
After this tea gathering, DaAi TV hopes more and more people will help support this nonprofit television station.
In the United States, a large-scale music charity concert will be held in Southern California. And to prepare for such an event, Tzu Chi volunteers have begun to gather funds and love for this concert by hosting tea gatherings at homes. Let's take a look at one such event.
A cozy tea gathering filled with music and warm sentiments is held at Cai Du's home in Tarzana, California.
Tzu Chi's spirit moved us, and it was then we started doing volunteer work, such as donating books, care for the elderly, and aid distributions.
The first Tzu Chi seed in Southern California, Cai Shouyun, shares how she came to join the Bodhisattva path.
It was when my sister took me to listen to the master's teachings that I realized as a wife, we aren't just dedicated to the family and children. We can do so much more. I never knew such joy in giving of myself.
I felt very fortunate that my life was blessed. I felt inclined to give what I can, and it's that mindset that I entered Tzu Chi. I think maybe because my heart is in the right place, so much of the things I used to worry or fuss about no longer mattered, as I just held on to the heart of gratitude.
This event is filled with music and humanitarianism.
As it is near typhoon season in Taiwan, many residents in Taitung are often forced to evacuate their homes and take shelter in emergency centers. To help those displaced residents with a good night's sleep, Tzu Chi volunteers sent 30 Jingsi folding beds to Beinan Township office so they can later be given to local emergency shelters.
Early in the morning, a bunch of Jingsi folding beds were delivered to Taidong's Beinan Township as volunteers wanted to give this relief item prior to the arrival of typhoons.
The height is very suitable for the seniors to sit or lay down in. They won't have to be on the floor anymore. I'm grateful the Tzu Chi Foundation has heard of our needs.
Tzu Chi volunteers demonstrate how to put together the Jingsi folding bed and the different ways it can be used.
After assembly, it is very secure. It's lightweight but stable. That's the thought and care put into our design.
Beinan Township also give the volunteers a plaque of thanks, as they will send these portable beds to different activity centers in the township, so evacuees can use them in their time of need.
In Taichung, a 50-year-old man suddenly lost part of his vision. After undergoing exam, his eyes proved to be normal, though the doctors suspected he suffered from a stroke. A computer scan found the man suffered from a stroke in the occipital lobe of his brain, which is responsible for visual function.
Originally enjoying perfect vision, this 50-year-old man from Taichung suddenly saw his vision go blurry and turn black. Few thought that this could be the result of a stroke. An eye exam revealed there were no problems with his eyes, though he was later diagnosed with an occipital lobe stroke.
He suddenly suffered from a cerebral vascular infection, which led the brain to experience blockage of the blood vessel.
The brain is divided into 4 lobes. The part in the back of the head is the occipital lobe, which is in charge of visual functions. If this area is damaged, it will cause vision problems.
Not everything is blurry. It might be one side causing the problem. For example, when he's walking, he may not be able to see on the right, which may cause him to run into things.
Those who suffer from hypertension, high blood sugar, and high cholesterol should be aware that they are in a high-risk group for this type of occipital infarction stroke. While it may feel like a headache, it is indeed much more dangerous.
In New Taipei City's Gongliao district, many young people have left the area for work opportunities, leaving behind ailing seniors. In addition, since many residents live in remote areas, they lack medical resources. Fortunately, TIMA members and Tzu Chi volunteers have been providing free clinics every 2 months for the past 15 years, bringing them much-needed love and medical care. This beautiful scenery is New Taipei City's Gongliao district. Nevertheless, the residents with its aging population lack medical resources.
This is a remote area where young people left for work opportunities, leaving the seniors behind. I care about how the residents take their medicine. Therefore, these house calls are very meaningful to me.
of the physical conditions of these grandpas and grandmas are actually related to their psychological states. If we can understand their backgrounds, it is very helpful for our diagnosis.
I think all the doctors should experience free clinics, otherwise they might get used to a routine of prescribing medicines without caring about the inner needs of the patients. As we face our patients, we can also see them as our own families or friends. Then we will have more empathy.
Seeing them laugh with joy and chatting with them, we make sure they feel happy at the moment. I think it is really worth it.
After serving the residents of Gongliao for 15 years, TIMA members will continue to safeguard the health and well-being of the people here with love. In Taiwan, Pingtung County government has launched pharmacist service, delivering medicines to ailing seniors who cannot make it to the hospitals. After the program has been launched for nearly a year, many pharmacists have discovered that a lot of seniors need to be educated about the correct way to take medication. Many of the prescriptions are for ailing seniors. After dispensing the medicines, the pharmacist has to head out. Many seniors need to take a lot of medicine, but those in Lingbian Township have to go to the city to seek medical treatment. Fortunately, the Pingtung government has launched pharmacist services, delivering medicines to their doorsteps.
So I would not make a mistake, otherwise I don't know what I am taking.
However, in the 9 townships that provide such services, there are only 16 partnering pharmacists. Therefore, it's important to educate the public.
When they hear the radio or TV commercials for medicines, they might think that is what they need and buy them.
In remote regions, it is common for residents to misuse medicines. The pharmacists hope that through care and education, they can help the seniors build up correct concepts regarding taking medication. In Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers from Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter have been promoting the Happy Campus program at Ampan Tamil Elementary School in Kuala Lumpur. The deputy principal of the school also supports this program and has been collaborating with Tzu Chi to improve underprivileged students' living conditions. Before his retirement, volunteers held a tea ceremony for him to thank him for his dedication.
All of the pictures on the screen show the dedication of the vice president of SJKT Ampan and his collaboration with Tzu Chi to improve children's education over the past few years. At the tea ceremony, he shares with the attendees the underprivileged children's changes.
Like this boy is coming to school daily, so he's also improving. He's now good. And that boy also comes to school regularly compared before. Last time he doesn't come to school, always absent. Why? No money for transport.
Although the vice president has a tight schedule, he still spares some time to understand the underprivileged students' backgrounds and help them apply for subsidies.
If you are educated well, you'll be somebody in life. And then when you are somebody in life also, you tend to help others also.
Until now, you never, one day also, you never like lazy, or don't want to do. I even act like got a lot of work. I never say like that. You will make sure that he's there during the recess time to see that all the children get their food.
Teacher Arul helped me apply for school bus subsidies from Tzu Chi. I also got some school supplies such as pencils and erasers.
Teacher Arul knows that this money comes from many kind-hearted people, so he will use the money as wisely as possible, just like using his own money.
The teachers collaborate with the volunteers to help the students pursue their education.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia have been caring for a young girl from Selangor, Kiki. As she suffers from psychosis, she often gets into trouble. To solve her problems and ensure her safety, Tzu Chi arranged for her to live in a psychiatric ward. With the long-term care and company of the volunteers, Kiki has improved her condition. Now she wants to repay Tzu Chi's love by helping those in need.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter paid monthly visits to Kiki at a psychiatric center. They bring her favorite food to see her. In March of last year, the volunteers met with Kiki for the first time. As she suffers from psychosis, she was sent to the police office frequently.
Before she was sent to the center, she wandered in the streets and she didn't take the medicine regularly. Her mental condition was quite unstable, as she often took off her clothes and pants.
Worried about her safety, the volunteers found a place for her to live.
I've already found a place for you to live. You can eat there, live there, and even work there. I have carried out the promise, right?
Now Kiki gets along well with everyone in this psychiatric center. She even shoulders the responsibility to clean the environment. She also makes some wishes when she puts the coin into the coin bank. The volunteers accompany Kiki with love, which also opens up her heart.
Recently, the Environmental Protection Bureau of Pingtung County joined hands with volunteers and a diving team from Daren University to clean up garbage in the sea surrounding the island of Xiaoliuqiu. Together, they collected 125 plastic bottles and 180 kilograms of garbage. They appeal to everyone to reduce their plastic garbage so the ocean will remain clean.
While the divers are cleaning out garbage in the sea, this little turtle keeps circling around a diver because it thinks the white net in the diver's hands is a jellyfish. It shows anything can cause serious harm to sea lives.
Much garbage, including things made with plastics, comes here from the main island through the ocean currents and even rivers. So we hope to improve this condition from the source.
The Environmental Protection Bureau joined hands with Daren University to investigate the ocean garbage and conduct cleanup work because they want to restore the beauty of ocean. And they were started with education.
From kindergartens to communities, we have set up an environmental education volunteer team to inform them about the conservation and protection of Kanding area and the sea around Xiaoliuqiu.
The government and the university are working together, joined by the general public, to do everything they can to protect our one and only Earth.
On July 18th, heavy rainfall has caused floods in Istanbul, Turkey. Among the affected residents is a Syrian refugee family who live in the basement. Tzu Chi volunteers immediately bought furniture and helped a total of 9 affected Syrian refugee families. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.